Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Zeno Lancaster with Lancaster Law Firm. We hope we'll be your real estate firm here in North Carolina, especially Western North Carolina. We've got a great team. I like to go live on Tuesdays and tell you about the team and talk about topics that come up in the crazy world of real estate. We just hired our fourth attorney. We're going to be opening our Canton office this month. We can't wait to bring him on board. I'll wait till he starts to announce his name. But we've got a huge staff, guys, ready to help you. Getting new files every day from new sources, looking to close fast. So if you're looking to close fast, please reach out. We can make it happen. We're here to help realtors and lenders navigate the closing process. I've got the Hulk here to help me with this live, wake me up a little. Everything helps with real estate, guys. Today I'm here to talk about local banks and national brands. So if you've come here to have your bank insulted, you're going to be happy today. I'm going to insult your bank. The truth is, I know some of you guys are moving from, my girlfriend moved from Idaho last fall. She was with a credit union, Boise, Idaho, or something like that. A small little credit union, and nothing against small little credit unions. But if you move to North Carolina and they don't have offices out here, and of course they don't, it can make life a little difficult for you when you need to do bank things. You know, if you're just using your debit card and going online banking, it's not a big deal. If you're wanting to purchase real estate, it's not going to work. So something that realtors and lenders even too, you might want to start thinking about telling your clients up front, who do you bank with? You know, some of you lenders might even, if you're at a bank, you might even be able to sell a banking product to your client, which is great. Just extra for you. Realtor, I'm going to explain why you want to do this too. Most people bank at national brand banks, excuse me, and or that when they move to the area, they find a local bank and bank with them. So this doesn't come up all that often, but when it does, it's a nightmare. Okay, and so when you have to send us earnest money, a lot of kids these days don't have checks, guys. They just don't. They don't need them. A lot of apartment complexes take payment online. Almost everything takes payment online. The only thing that doesn't take payment online, well, for the most part, is real estate transactions. Our real estate transactions. You know, if you guys use the Earnest app, we can get around that. So ask me about that. But if you're asking your client to write a check, especially if you're old school and you just like seeing that earnest money check, they're going to look at you and say, I don't have a check. And you're going to say, go get a certified check. They're going to say, my bank's in Boise, Idaho. And perhaps they can get that for you. It's going to take a few extra steps, but it's going to be a pain in the rear. It gets worse. At closing, we're going to have, you know, their 57 grand wired to us. We have to have good funds to close a real estate transaction. Good funds means they're cleared. Excuse me, I got a bug. So that means they clear the same minute we receive them. The only thing that does that anymore is a wire transfer, not Bitcoin, not certified check signed by 3 different bankers. Certified checks used to be same as cash. I remember those days too. That is long gone, not even close. They all, in my opinion, they're not much better than personal checks anymore. They can be canceled. They can be fraudulent. They don't close. They don't try to get a bank to tell you that a certified check has cleared. Call your bank and say, I need you to tell me for sure and indefinite when a certified check will clear. Try it out. If you experience what I've experienced, you'll get a very convoluted answer, and we really don't want to do that. You're probably okay. That's what I'll hear a lot. You're probably okay if you wait this many days. That much money, I'm not operating on a probably okay, guys. And it is the law for those of you that care. The Good Funds Settlement Act requires good funds. That means they are cleared into my account. I might be willing to take that risk on if it's under $1,000 or something, and it's been a headache for the buyers, and they're good people, and they ask if they can just write a quick check for $200. Sure, I might risk that not clearing or something. I'm not going to do it for 50 grand. I'm not going to do it for $2 grand. I've had realtors fight me on that, and it always comes to I think, a fair question. Post in the comments if you disagree. I'd love to hear your experiences on this, by the way. I've always told them, listen, if you're good with a certified check for 80 grand, have them write it to you, you put it in your account, then you wire me the money. I've only had to offer that up maybe 10 times. 0 of 10 times did the realtor take me up on that. Because at the end of the day, I get it, we're all just wanting it to close, but no one, they're wanting me to take on that liability, and it's not gonna happen. And most law offices are requiring wire transfers for this reason, for purchase funds these days. So, wire transfer. Hi, Christine from the Bahamas, nice. Pretty jealous that you're in the Bahamas right now. So wire transfers, why that can be a problem if you don't have a local bank or national brand bank. Say we don't typically have final numbers for the borrower until, I don't know, 3 or 4 days before closing at best. Because there are lots of moving parts, we're getting invoices from realtors, invoices from lenders, invoices from home warranty companies, from seller attorneys, payoffs for the seller, all this sort of thing that go into a settlement statement. Usually it just doesn't come around until then. Sometimes we don't even know the exact closing date. We have to know that to prepare a final, all of that for prorations of taxes. You guys know all of this. It's another show. So when we send that final number and if there's a lender involved, sometimes we don't have balanced CDs from the lender until day before, night before, sometimes day of. At that point, we've probably postponed the closing, but still, we don't have that final number. So your client's not able to go wire us those funds. It happens once or twice a month. No one brings it up until day of closing. Hey, usually they show up to sign. Hey, by the way, my bank's in Boise, Idaho. And I'm not hating on Boise, Idaho. I'm just using that as an example. My bank's in Boise, Idaho. I've had them since I was 16. And they're telling me they can't wire 80 grand online. Well, yeah, guys, very few banks are going to wire 80 grand online for you. You got to go into the bank. There are some banks that will let you wire from your laptop. There is usually a max that you can wire and do that with, even on the ones that'll let you. If you're planning on doing that, call your bank a month before and find out what they'll allow. But in any event, this bank in Boise, Idaho wouldn't wire funds. And they wouldn't wire funds online. You had to come in. It delayed their closing for days. I've had clients have to travel to go wire their money, travel to other states just to go wire their money and come back for closing because they didn't know this, weren't aware of this. We send out in our engagement email, and it's also in my signature line of every single email that comes from my office, and we send hundreds a day. You must wire your funds for closing. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that they have to do that, but the surprise is usually that their bank is going to make it difficult because they're in another state, they don't allow online wiring, and it's going to put your folks in a pickle. They're going to have to travel to Boise, Idaho to wire those funds, and guys, I've had it happen. The only alternative is you convince your attorney to take a certified check for the funds, which you're going to have a lot of trouble with. Most of them are going to say, I'll take a certified check today and we can close in 2 or 3 weeks. Because again, the banks won't tell us they're cleared. So we have to get to a point where we're just comfortable it's not going to bounce. I don't like doing that. I think that's a lot of liability on attorneys when it's frankly pretty simple to go wire money. I know it's a pain in the butt, but it's not worth that pain in the butt is here. Taking on that liability for 80 grand bouncing up there, guys. It just is. We can start doing it, and then you'll see attorney's fees skyrocket to cover the liability and the insurance and all that it would require to start doing that. So it's not likely going to happen. So you got to get on board with the wiring, which means you really need to start saying, client, okay, we're under contract. Who do you bank with? And that gives you typically weeks at least to have them change banks. Move that money into somebody else that's either local or a national brand. And it's up to them. They can call Boise, Idaho, and they say, oh, we'll wire it online, 80 grand, no limit, whatever. Fine. Then they're good. But it's a conversation you want to have with them so that at closing, your closing's not delayed because they never changed banks. This is something no one seems to be talking about. And the truth is it does not come up that often, but when it comes up, it's a nightmare. okay? Sellers are upset that it's not closing, of course. You're upset. Everyone's upset. It's usually me, the one that's saying, hey, we have to have a wire. What? Well, it's been and then I have to point out it's been in every email. It's in our engagement email. We send out wire instructions in our engagement email just to say, hey, it's a wire. It has to be a wire. So to avoid the awkwardness of not knowing or acting or saying you don't know, because either way you should, and to avoid delays, conversation you should have, it'll take you 2 minutes. Who do you bank with, and should they consider moving that money into a local or national brand? Guys, that's all I have for you. So again, talk to your clients about what bank they use. It's important. It's a 2-second conversation that will save you a lot of time on at least one of your closings every month or year or whatever. I try to go live every Tuesday morning, guys, if the Lord allows and the creek don't rise. Please check us out. Please comment on any questions you have. Jennifer says she has bank accounts in Boise. I promise I'm not hating on Boise. Boise's beautiful. That was just an example. They might. So Jennifer asked, before I jump off, Jennifer asked, won't the lender make them jump through hoops if they change banks? Whatever hoops those might be are going to be cheaper and less labor intensive than a plane ticket to Boise to go wire their funds. That is my thought there. But if I'm wrong about that, hey lenders, comment below and let us know. Let us know that this is a terrible idea. But if it's a terrible idea, we need to revise this to something, because it's causing problems at closings. So we can figure that out and sort that out. But maybe a lender can chime in with what those hoops would be, and we can all decide from there. So yeah, I go live every Tuesday, guys. Put it on your calendar. Try to chime in. Try to watch. Please comment any future topics you'd like us to talk about. I'm thinking about having a panel or two coming up, so it's not just my mug that you're having to stare at. And please connect with us on Instagram. I'm at flying_casual. At Lancaster Law Firm is where I work, and what I would love for you guys to start using for your closings. Connect with us on Facebook. I've got profiles there too. And of course, if you're in this group, please invite anyone you think would benefit from the group. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining, being part of this, and for all the comments today. Have a great rest of your week.